Thank you, John. Look, up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superman. When you think of heroes, who do you think of? As a child, Superman was my hero. I couldn't wait to get home from school every day to watch reruns of Superman flying around in those silly tights trying to save Metropolis. Superman was my hero. But everybody has their own idea of what a hero should be. To some, it's our New York City Fire Department. To others, maybe it's our military defending our country. And are they heroes? Of course they are. But I'm here this morning to talk to you because I want you to know that almost every single one of you in this room has the potential to be a hero. Almost every single one of you in this room has the potential to save and enhance the lives of more than 50 people. And how can you do that? It's very simple. The next time you go to have your driver's license renewed and they ask you, would you like to become an organ and tissue donor? You say, yes, I would. Or you can fill out one of these donor cards. And that is how you can become a hero. But why? Well, because we don't have enough heroes to go around right now. They say one person dies every 2 hours waiting for a transplant. Another person is added to the transplant list every 16 to 18 minutes. Let me put that into perspective for you. If this meeting takes 2 hours today, somewhere, someone will have died, and 6 more people will need a transplant. And those 6 people, they just don't run out and get a transplant. No, they have to go on a long waiting list. In fact, they say the average wait today for a transplant is more than 400 days. Now, to most of us, 400 days doesn't seem like much, does it? But to somebody who needs a transplant, 400 days is a lifetime. And unfortunately for many, it's more than a lifetime. Now, there are more than 60,000 people waiting for a transplant. But I'm not going to stand up here and bore you with facts and figures tonight, or this morning. What I want you to do is I want you to imagine what it must be like to need a transplant, to be on that long waiting list. Imagine yourself a diabetic for 18 years, and for those 18 years, you've had to give yourself an insulin shot 3-4 times a day just to stay alive. And then all of a sudden, your blood sugars are out of control. You don't feel well. You start to retain water. In fact, you've retained so much water that you've gained more than 30 pounds. Getting out of bed is now difficult, and going up just one step without assistance is almost impossible. Your blood pressure skyrockets. You go to the doctor. The doctor says what's wrong with you is you need to have a kidney transplant because you have kidney disease. But unfortunately, we don't have enough donors to go around right now. So in the meantime, you have to go on this long waiting list, and you have to go on dialysis. Now that's not fun, because they have to surgically implant a shunt in your arm so that they can hook some tubes up to your arm that filters your blood through this dialysis machine because your kidneys are no longer filtering your blood properly. And you have to be hooked up to this dialysis machine 3 times a week for at least 3.5 to 4 hours at a time. And every morning you wake up and you say, oh, is today the day will I get that call for my transplant? But another day goes by and you don't get that call. But you see, it doesn't end with just dialysis. No, you have very high blood pressure. So now you have to worry about heart attack, stroke, heart disease. You have to worry that your heart will be strong enough to withstand a transplant operation by the time you get it. And another day goes by. No call. You have very poor circulation caused by your diabetes. And when you stand up too fast, that blood pressure just drops so drastically that you get dizzy. You fall down. You pass out. And you break something. One of the side effects of diabetic kidney disease is osteoporosis. So just by falling over, you break your pelvis in 3 places. Or you go down a step and your bones are so brittle that you break your heel. Or the next time you fall over, you break your ankle so bad that they have to put pins, screws, and a plate in your ankle. You're now confined to a wheelchair. You have a cast all the way up your leg. You're too sick to work. And now you have to rely on someone, a loved one, a caretaker to take care of you. And another day goes by and no call. And then one morning, you wake up. You're blind in one eye. You can barely see out of the other eye. What has happened? Well, you've had a detached retina. You've had bleeding in both eyes and now have to have painful retina surgery. All kinds of painful laser surgeries. And just as those eye problems are just about healed, bam, the other eye goes. More retina surgery, more laser surgery. You are in and out of the hospital every 4 to 6 weeks with some sort of health-related problem due to your diabetic kidney disease, and you're wondering, am I ever going to get that call? Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know this story sounds incredible. Sounds like something Job had to live through in the Bible. Every day something happening. Sounds like, well, maybe it's a compilation of several people. Or what could hypothetically happen to you if you got diabetic kidney disease? But you see, I'm here today because this happened to one person. One very real person. How do I know? She's the most important person in my life. She's my wife. My wife, Dory. And Dory had to live through all of that and so much more. But you see, I'm not here to bring you down. I'm not here to depress you. No, I'm here to inspire you, to motivate you to sign that donor card. You see, Dory is considered one of the lucky ones. And I know what you're thinking. How could she be lucky, having to live through all of that? Because she lived through all of that. And because July 2nd, 1994, my wife Dory got her hero. She received a kidney pancreas transplant. She was the 9th person at UCLA to receive the kidney pancreas transplant. And because of that transplant, no more kidney disease. No more dialysis. Her blood pressure is normal. No more osteoporosis. Because of that kidney pancreas transplant, no more diabetes. I'm happy to report that my wife, Dory, has not had an insulin shot since July 2nd, 1994. Her eyes today, 2020. She's had lens implants. She can see better than I can. She doesn't have to wear glasses. This is someone who lost her eyesight. Today, she works full-time. In fact, if you go down to M&M's World down the street, she's one of the managers there. She's worked for M&M, Ethel M Chocolates, for the past 15 years. For the first 5 years, she couldn't eat the chocolate. Today, there's no dietary restrictions on her. She just went to the doctor, celebrated her 10th anniversary of her transplant. I'm happy to report she's healthier than I am. All because she got her donor. There are over 60,000 people waiting for a transplant today. Let me describe what a transplant is. There are 2 types, organ and tissue. Organ is heart transplant, kidney, pancreas, liver, lungs, large intestine. And then there's the tissue transplant. Many people don't even realize you can donate tissue. Tendons, ligaments, bone. Someday you may have to have a hip replacement. That bone, that hip that they'll just dispose of could actually be used to help someone with bone disease. There's heart valve transplants. Little Colleen McCann was born with life-threatening heart defects. She received a heart valve transplant, and because of that heart valve transplant, she is a healthy, active, growing child. Tissue transplantation is donor skin. Brian Christian was burned over 75% of his body in a work-related accident. Donor skin was used to save his life. It helped keep out infection and prevented fluid loss. Did you know that you can help restore eyesight by becoming a tissue donor? Little Maurizio Nungari lost his eyesight due to a virus at the age of 3. At age 8, he received a corneal transplant, and today, not only is he doing well in school, but he's playing his favorite sport, baseball. All because someone filled out that donor card. These are some of the miracles of becoming an organ and tissue donor. And today, I'd like to recognize some of your members. We have heroes who had to go through that and live through that, and I'd like to recognize Mr. Pat Finley. And Mr. Nolan Mariwaki. They're heroes because they had to live through some of that. But they also got heroes. And those I would really like to acknowledge today. Pat Finley, his brother, Kevin, donated a kidney. And he deserves a hand. Kevin Finley. Nolan Mariwaki also got a hero. And his hero is your very own Vice President, Mary Thompson. I hope that you will fill out this card. See, I'm asking you to become a hero. I'm begging you, I'm challenging you, please become an organ donor, a tissue donor, save lives, and be a hero. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.